If raising a teenager, you're likely dealing with specific challenges: a sudden drop in concentration, fluctuating self-confidence, or erratic, unpredictable behavior. It is easy to blame these issues on laziness, screen time, or the school curriculum, but the root cause is often deeply internal. These behaviors are the visible symptoms of subconscious brain patterns, and those hidden patterns have a physical footprint. Every stroke of a pen is a direct manifestation of your teen's emotional and cognitive state. Handwriting is, quite literally, brainwriting. By the end of this video, you will know how to decode your teenager's handwriting to identify their specific mental roadblocks, and you will learn how to build a custom 21-day practice sheet to physically alter their mindset. To do this, you only need 3 things: a blank sheet of unlined paper, a standard ballpoint pen, and a short handwriting sample. Because writing bypasses conscious thought, adjusting the physical strokes of a pen utilizes the body's natural brain-muscle connection to influence subconscious behavioral patterns. Step 1 is to gather a baseline. Ask your teenager to write a full paragraph about their day and have them sign their name at the bottom. Do not ask them to write neatly or quickly. The sample must capture their natural, default physical rhythm to give accurate reading. You must also ensure they write on completely blank, unlined paper. Lined paper forces an artificial physical constraint on the writer. It masks the natural emotional baselines and slants that we need to see to understand their true mental state. Now that you have the sample, scan the text specifically for the lowercase letter T and the uppercase letter I. Look at this handwriting sample. Notice how the horizontal line crosses near the bottom of the lowercase t, and the capital I next to it is disproportionately small. This specific combination indicates fear and low self-esteem. To correct this, take your blank sheet of paper to start building your custom remedy practice sheet. Now, draw a row of lowercase t's. Watch this animation. The vertical stem is drawn first, but then the horizontal line strikes decisively across the very top point of the stem. Next to those high cross T's, add a sequence of large, forcefully written capital I's, taking up significant space on the page. In graphology, the vertical stem represents a person's perceived capacity. Consistently striking that crossbar at the highest point requires a deliberate upward reach, a physical habit that conditions the brain to set higher internal standards and goals. Step 2 targets concentration. Shift your attention to the overall size of the handwriting in the sample and look closely at the placement of the dots on the lowercase i's. Huge, sprawling letters, paired with I dots that are slashed like a quick dash or drawn as large open circles, are visual markers of an attention-seeking, highly distracted mind. This split-screen graphic shows the contrast. On the left, we see the erratic, oversized text with slashed dots. But on the right, the handwriting is much smaller, with the I dots placed closely and precisely directly above the stem, the mark of a deeply focused mind. Add a row of words containing the letter I to your remedy sheet. Instruct your teen to write these words smaller than their usual size, placing every single dot perfectly over the stem. Forcing the hand to execute tiny, precise micro-movements eliminates erratic energy. It conditions the brain for sustained, meticulous focus. Step 3 addresses inaction. Look back at the lowercase t's in the original sample, but this time focus entirely on where the horizontal crossbar sits relative to the vertical stem. Here is a close-up showing the strict marker for procrastination. The horizontal crossbar is completely isolated on the left side of the vertical line, never actually crossing through it. Add a final row of t's to the remedy sheet to target this specific hesitation. This animation demonstrates the corrective stroke. The pen must start directly on the center of the vertical stem and push forcefully out to the right side. Handwriting in most cultures moves from left to right, meaning the left side of a letter represents where the pen has been, while the right represents the future progress of the line. Pushing the stroke decisively to the right reinforces the habit of moving toward an objective rather than lingering at the point of origin. You now have 3 specific stroke corrections compiled into one organized daily practice page. The scientific mechanism that makes this work is neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form and reorganize synaptic connections. This looping diagram outlines the process. Conscious, deliberate muscle movement forces brain rewiring. which ultimately dictates permanent behavior change. The parameters for success are very strict. Your teenager must practice this exact sheet for 10 to 15 minutes every single day, for a minimum of 21 days, up to 90 days. These exercises function as a targeted physical therapy, using repetitive motor movements to establish new neural pathways for self-regulation and focus. This is your completed graphotherapy practice sheet. It is a tangible, immediately usable tool featuring rows of high-crossed T's, small precise I's, and right-pushed crossbars, ready to begin the rewiring process. By committing to this physical routine, you map a path away from anxiety, procrastination, and lack of focus. The target state is an emotionally stable, driven, and clear-headed young adult. This internal shift creates compounding external benefits. Sharper focus leads to improved academic performance. Emotional stability builds higher emotional intelligence. And newfound drive provides long-term career clarity. Graphotherapy turns a static diagnosis of a teenager's personality into a dynamic roadmap for their growth, providing a physical method to reach specific behavioral goals. Start your children's 21-day challenge today. Have them complete their baseline sample, build their custom practice sheet, and share the mindset shifts you observe in the comments below.